All my copper colored Indians, come here. A lot of y'all have been asking me how to trace your family tree and genealogy. I have successfully traced my family back to the 1700s, and I have something very important to show y'all in regards to what I was able to find, but I already knew. So according to my genealogy, this is the areas where my family pretty much lived in already and owned lands, farms, and all of that stuff. None of what I'm speaking is claims, it's all facts. But before I really get into it, I'm going to show you pictures of some of my family members, and then I'm going to give you guys the backstory to everything. And hopefully this can help you find your family and your tribes and lineage. So William Bevins is my 7th great grandfather. Okay, he was born in 1700 and he died in 1772. Jeanette William Bivens Mills is my 7th great grandmother, and she was born in 1700 and died in 1749. She is from Pocomoke 100, Somerset, Maryland. And so is her husband, who she married in 1738. And then they ended up in Sussex, Delaware. Edith D. Sample is my great-grand-aunt, and she was born in 1891, and she's also from Virginia, Pungoteague, Virginia. This is a close picture of them. Annie Smith Bivens is my 2nd great-grandmother, and she was also born in Virginia. This is a picture of her. John A. Sample is my 2nd great-grandfather. He was born in 1859, and he was born in Accomack, Virginia. He was married to my 2nd great-grandmother, Annie Bivens. This is a picture of him. Now, my 2nd great-grandfather, John Sample, was in agriculture, which means he owned land. He was a farmer, and he also ended up in Accomack, Virginia. He was an engineer. He could read, he could write, and he could speak English. And again, his birthplace and his mother's birthplace, was Virginia. Y'all seen what he looked like, right? Well, they got him labeled as black. And I also have records of him where he's labeled as mulatto. But yeah, you seen what he looked like, right? They have him labeled as black. This is another picture of one of my great-grand-aunts. And it said that my 3rd cousin, 8 times removed, is the U.S. President James Monroe. And my 11th great-grandfather is an early Virginia colonist named Henry Bagwell. Her name is Edith Sample, by the way. Now, based on the information that I found about my family, which I said we already knew this stuff, but just to put it in context for those of you who don't know how to do this, but they were from Accomack County and Pungoteague, Eastern Shore area. So my 2nd great-grandmother, Annie Bivens, and my great-grand-aunt, Edith Sample, were historically in the regions of Accohannock Indian Tribe, the Pocomoke Indian Tribe, Nanticoke Indian Tribe, and the Powhatan Confederacy. Most of them was from the Eastern Shore of Virginia and Maryland, and it was heavily populated by Algonquin-speaking people before English settlement. So they had already been there. I don't think anybody who has African descent can trace their families back to the 1700s, so yeah. And then my great-grandfather, my 2nd great-grandfather, was in Somerset County, Maryland in the 1700s. And that is the major nations where Nanticoke Indian Tribe, Pocomoke Indian Tribe, and Assateague people were. Many native families from this region later blended into colonial populations and moved into Delaware or joined Nanticoke communities. So my people were already in their tribes, already connected, owned land, could read, write, and speak English, were never enslaved. It also says that when my ancestor died in Sussex County, Delaware in 1749, that it was a strong association with the Nanticoke Indian tribe and the Lenape. So the Nanticoke migration route often ran between Maryland's Eastern Shore and Delaware, and that's where my people are heavily from. It also said that based on the areas that I've shown from my family tree and all of my family members, that we are likely connected to the research that are Nanticoke, Pocomoke, Accohannock, Assateague, and the related Eastern Shore Algonquin peoples, which again, we already knew. This is my father's mother. This is my direct grandmother, as you can see. So yeah. And this is my mother's mother. I know the picture is blurry, but you guys get the point. So yeah, I didn't even do my mother's family yet. I didn't even make a video about them, but yeah, my grandmother's grandfather was a white man who owned land, so we already know that. And we also know that we were also associated with tribes in Virginia from my grandmother's side as well. So none of this was new to me. It was surprising to actually see how much I could trace back, and I did it for fun, just, to see how much I could learn more. But we already knew, and we were never connected to Africa in any way, shape, or form. And for those of you dodos that say that having a gap in your front teeth is native to Africa, you're stupid. So yes, you can successfully trace your family back to the 1700s after you build your family tree and you put everything together. Everything's going to make sense once you know who is related to who, and then you'll be able to see how far back you can go. It is not impossible if you already have prior history to knowing who you are and connecting to who you are. I just didn't know what the names of the tribes were specifically, because I was told we were from the Accomack Powhatan Confederacy, and I also was told that we were Cherokee, but the Cherokee thing never got with me, because I just that's one of the 5 civilized tribes, and they are mainly filled with $5 Indians. So yeah, you have to do the work. It will be easy if you build your family tree, and everything else will fall in order. Almost like the ancestors are going to help you. But yeah, just because you look so-called black doesn't mean you are. My people are native, or indigenous, should I say. My people are indigenous to America. They own land, farms. They were in agriculture. They were never enslaved. They could read, write, and speak English. The more you know.